All right, team, welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. Today, I'm really excited to dive into some cutting-edge stuff. I've been poring over the latest research on digital trends, and honestly, it's fascinating. I've even leveraged some advanced AI, yeah, you heard that right, to break down the core insights. This way, we can get straight to the actionable strategy. So without further ado, let's jump in.
Welcome back to TNT Digital Mindset. We've analyzed the latest data on the relaunched dig.com to help you sharpen your strategic thinking. So, let's be real for a second. This is the question that keeps every single one of us up at night. You need traffic, you need an audience, but man, the cost of getting it is it's insane. But what if there was a place that already had a huge audience and you could get in on the ground floor right now? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. To get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand this number. 200 million. That's how many visitors Dig was getting every year back in its heyday. It was an absolute monster, a kingmaker, and now it's back. But the old guard is gone. It's a completely clean slate, which means it's a massive opportunity for anyone ready to jump on it. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to pull back the curtain on that 200 million visitors secret. Then we'll do a quick tour of the new platform so you know the lay of the land. After that, we're handing you the literal playbook for driving traffic. And then, the really exciting part, how to carve out and claim your own territory. And finally, we'll reveal the hidden key to the algorithm. All right, let's dive right in. The most important thing to get is that the old Dig is, well, it's dead. This relaunch wiped the slate clean, and that's exactly why we're so hyped about it. This isn't just some washed-up platform trying to make a comeback. It's a genuine ground floor opportunity.
And this slide really breaks it down. Old Dig was a fortress. Super powerful, yeah, but with this established hierarchy that was almost impossible to break into. The new Dig? It's wide open. It's a level playing field, and, this is critical, the new algorithm is, at least for now, pretty simple to understand and, well, to manipulate. It's a classic land grab, and these moments, as you know, they don't last forever.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty strategy, let's just take a quick look around. You gotta know the terrain before you can conquer it, right? So let's do a quick flyover of the interface. So the layout is pretty simple, pretty intuitive. You've got your main feeds, your personal feed, the all feed, but the real gold for us is in two spots. First, discover communities. That's where you're gonna find your people. And second, digs. These are basically just upvotes, and they are the fuel that makes this whole engine run. All right, section 3. This is what you've been waiting for. The tactical playbook. This is exactly how you take your stuff, your blog posts, your videos, your products, and get it in front of a whole new audience on Dig. Look, it's a super straightforward 4-step process. 1, find the right community. 2, write a killer title. 3, drop your link. And 4, hit publish. It really is that simple. But, and this is a big but, step 2 is where 90% of people completely drop the ball. Let's just park on step 2 for a minute, because this is the whole game. Your headline is everything. It's the gatekeeper. It has to be specific, it has to be compelling, and more than anything, it has to spark that little bit of curiosity that makes someone stop scrolling and click. That's it. That's the secret. Now, sharing your content is awesome for getting some quick traffic, but if you want to build a real, defensible asset, you gotta think bigger. So let's talk about the ultimate strategic move. Claiming your very own territory on the platform. As we were analyzing the platform, we found this huge, gaping hole. Yeah, there are big, broad communities like news or tech, but there is a massive lack of specific niche communities. Think keto for beginners, or indie game developers, or vintage watch collecting. They're just not there. And that leads to the most obvious question in the world. If that territory is just sitting there, completely unclaimed, why aren't you the one to plant the flag? This is your chance to become the go-to hub for your niche before anyone else even knows what's happening. And creating your own community, it's ridiculously easy. You pick a name, you grab a custom handle, write a quick tagline, throw up a logo, and boom, you're live. You could literally do this in the next 10 minutes. Now here's a little insider tip for you. Dig is still technically in beta, so things can be a little buggy. Sometimes the community creation tool just won't work. Don't let that stop you. If it fails, just shoot a message to their support team. Or, honestly, just try again in a few hours. The ones who are persistent are going to be the ones who win. Okay, we've covered the platform. We've covered the tactics. For this last section, we're going deep.
This is the expert-level stuff, the hidden key to the algorithm that most users will never even know exists.
So the secret sauce behind Dig's algorithm is the Wilson lower bound formula. Now don't worry, you don't need to know the math. Here's what you do need to know. It balances the ratio of upvotes to downvotes against the total number of votes. In plain English, getting a high percentage of upvotes early is way more powerful than getting a ton of upvotes later on. Unlocking these systems, that's the core of the TNT Digital Mindset.
And that right there is the ultimate lesson. Mastering a platform isn't about knowing where the buttons are. It's about understanding the engine that's running under the hood. When you apply that TNT digital mindset, you're not just participating on a platform, you're optimizing for the system itself. That's how you win. So we're going to leave you with this one question. You have the analysis. You have the playbook. You can see the wide open field right in front of you. The only thing left to decide is which piece of digital territory are you going to claim first? If you want to master the digital economy, make sure to subscribe to TNT Digital Mindset. Thanks for listening.